And one of the things you've done was to wipe out old debts for a lot of small farmers and businesses that were around for years and years.
Yes, exactly.
Weren't going to be paid, so just wipe it out and let them have a fresh start.
I think at that time when I came in, even before I came in, in my campaign, a lot of these representatives from the farmers and from the small business came to me and, sir, we can't get any new loans because our debt of 25 years ago is still in the books of the banks. So I called some of the bankers, we discussed, and basically I understood that actually in the banks, right, after 25 years, most of these banks have been written off already in the books of the banks. So, of course, there are the conservative bankers who said, no, sir, we cannot, what example will it give for the other lenders, borrowers, right? So I said, these people, 25 years, they cannot pay back because of bad weather, because of natural disaster, etc., etc. No way can they pay back. So to be realistic, I said there is such a thing as forgiveness. So I said we forgive the debt.
Now, one of the things in what they call a macroeconomic sense you're doing is free trade agreements, and you have an agreement with the EU, European Union, to promote trade. Can you walk us through that?
Yes, I think this is one of the achievements of my team, my economic team, led by Mr. Ailanga Hartarto. He's been working very hard with his team, and we succeeded in getting the agreement through the CIPA, right? Indonesian European Union Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CIPA. And I think this is a breakthrough because it came right when the American government started their tariff campaign. Can we say campaign?
It's a polite way to put it.
Right.
So I'm an American. I have more pungent words. So you have to be diplomatic.
So I think we need to. For us, it was a wake-up call, right? If I were an American, I understand the point of view of the Trump administration. I think, America cannot be, right, the whole world considers America to be a nice market, and then on the other way around, they don't also open their market to American goods. So there will always be, it's the duty of every leader to try to protect their people. But, if you go in a tariff war, where will it stop, right? But for us, it's a wake-up call. So I said, now I tell my guys, my team, and I will talk to the business people. We must be more efficient. We must be more daring. We must be more, not always rely on an easy market. Oh, United States. I think this is opening up, but yes, and then that's why now we have a CIPA with the EU. I witnessed the signing of CIPA with Canada, and I think we are more and more trying to get these type of agreements with most markets, also with Latin America, with I think RCEP and CPTPP, etc. So we also are joining OECD. We requested to join, We've joined BRICS. So we believe that we should, be in all the markets that we can. But basically, more important is actually the Indonesian market. We are nearly 300 million people. So we must actually boost our capacity, our buying power. That's why I want to really empower the poor of Indonesia. That will create domestic consumption.
When you campaigned, you gave your desire to increase the growth rate from 5% a year to 8% a year. What other steps are you taking? What industries do you see coming in the future to Indonesia? And what would you say to Americans and others about why they should invest in Indonesia today so you can get that 8% growth rate?
I think 8% is very achievable. It's very achievable. As I mentioned to you, for instance, even with this free meal program, we are creating directly 1.5 million jobs. Directly. And there's 30,000 kitchens times 50 people working in the kitchen. 2 or 3 shifts, so 50 people times 30,000, that's 1.5 million. So the economic experts tell me that 1% growth will create 400,000 jobs. Well, we created already 1.5 million jobs. That's 3%. And that's not even with the 81,000 cooperatives. There we calculate we will also create at least another 15 jobs. But the beauty of the whole thing is that each kitchen has created 15 local entrepreneurs. One selling their eggs, the other one selling vegetables, the other one selling fish, this one selling meat, the other one so. And each of these 15 vendors or suppliers will have at least 5, 10 or 15 workers.
So foreign investors will be witnessing a growing economy which attracts capital.
I think so. Growing economy, and if these people have money, what do? They will buy shoes, clothes. They want to improve their housing. They want each to buy maybe motorcycle, a television. So I think this is the way. I mean, of course, the big guys will want to go to the big things, right? For instance, we have a lot of minerals, a lot of critical minerals. We are number 1, I think, in nickel, maybe number 4 or 5 in bauxite. We are in critical minerals. We are in, so I think there's a lot of space for new investment. We need more exploration for oil and gas. We need more drilling. We find out that we have, I think, 30, 40,000 old wells that with new technology we can increase our yield. So I think there's a lot of room for investment, and I think Indonesia must be something that will attract a lot of interest to come in, because I think not many economies, I think, in the present world enjoy. Even now we are growing at 5% a year. I mean, many other countries are not even growing at all. 1%, 2%. Even I just came from Sharm el Sheikh. I meet all the leaders, and we were exchanging notes. And many countries are struggling. with energy and all that. And I think we are blessed with so many resources. But of course, I'm not satisfied. We have to manage better our resources.
One of the couple of things you're doing, one is improving tax collection, and the other is you may be looking at tax cuts to help stimulate the economy. And another thing you're doing is you've created a second sovereign wealth fund, Danantara, which has under assets, starting off, $1 trillion. And it not only includes your major banks, but it includes Pertamina. But also, amazingly, you had 1,000 state-owned businesses that now you're going to rationalize, reduce, because together they're only returning 1% on assets. So if you rationalize these things, free up capital for better use, that alone will give a boost to the economy.
I think so. So I've given direction to the chairman of the Danantara to rationalize everything, cut down from the 1,000 state-owned enterprise maybe to a more rational figure, maybe 200 or 230, 240, and then run them with international standards, right? So I am convinced that that 1 or 2% return can increase, must increase. I think, and I told the Danantara management to run it on an international business standards. You can look for the best brains, best talents, and I've changed the regulations. Now, expatriates, non-Indonesians, can be leading our SOEs. I'm very excited, but because sometimes I don't know. There is some sort of disconnect sometimes between the economic players and the political players, the political leaders. Many political leaders, I think, do not want to do their homework. Many political leaders maybe are afraid of figures or afraid of business. So I think it now behooves all the younger leaders of Indonesia who want to be political leaders. You must understand business and economics. I think I heard somewhere, was it under Clinton's campaign somewhere, that he put in his campaign room, what?
It's the economy, stupid.
It's the economy, stupid. I don't know how to translate it into Indonesian, yeah? But it's the economy, stupid. If you don't understand the economy, you can be fooled by the economists, right? So you must never be intimidated by the so-called experts. I'm talking to my younger guys, right? So
one of the things you've been very open about is battling corruption. You, when you were defense minister, you made it a point that any relative, if the name was came in for a contract, they would not get the contract. Relate the story first of a company that came in that made you an offer. They thought you couldn't refuse, but you did. And then walk us through quickly the things you are doing now to combat corruption, not just prosecutions, but making sure you have the personnel properly salaried so there's no excuse for payoffs. But first, relate the story about what happened to a particular defense company or a potential provider to get a contract is rather brazen.
Yeah. I mean, corruption is very difficult. Corruption, in my opinion, is a disease. Once it reaches stadium 4, like cancer, it's very difficult. But corruption, in my reading of history, corruption will destroy countries, nations, and regimes.